Ecclesiastes chapter 7, first two verses today.
A good name is better than a good ointment, and the day of one's death is better than the day of one's birth. It is better to go to a house of mourning than to go to a house of feasting, because that is the end of every man, and the living takes it to heart.
Okay, so here's some crazy stuff in chapter 7. The day of your death is better than the day of your birth, and we should be happier in the house of mourning. Well, why? Well, because, there's a certain sobriety, there's a certain solemnity to life. We should recognize that God is on the throne, and we have a messed up nature because of our ancestors and because of our own magnificent, ridiculous dedication to self. And so, we're fighting all the way. But the Lord can get us through, the Lord can take us. The Lord can give us peace and hope, but we want to be right with Him, and so we should be sober, and that's what we kind of have in this idea right here. It's better to go to a house of mourning than a house of feasting, because you come face to face. When you come to a funeral or a memorial service, some friend or loved one has died, and you're kind of coming to there, and you're spending an hour in that space, kind of thinking about that friend, that life. And recognizing that chapter in your life is closed. You'll never be connected to that person again, not until the resurrection. But it leads you to think sober. It leads you to think and realize, hey, my life has a starting spot and it's got an ending spot. Where am I on the track? Am I ready? Am I ready to walk with the Lord day by day? What will the record be when my life closes? So it's definitely a great advantage to go to the house of mourning. It's definitely to an advantage to think on these things rather than to go, let's see, I can do a funeral or I can go to the movie. I can do a funeral or I can go to the rock concert. Hey, you know what? The dead person's already dead, but the rock concert's only going to be tonight. So I'm going to the rock concert. No, don't go to the house of feasting. Go to the house of mourning and think on the great opportunities God has given you in the life that He's given you. Okay, let's put in a note here at chapter 7, verses 1 and 2. And this is the house of feasting and the house of mourning. And this seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? Yeah, let's go to the party. Why would we go to the funeral? But think on the things of eternity and morality, instead of the things that are passing. It's not about food, it's not about the weather. It's about the wonderful opportunities we've been given. Beings made in God's image should seek higher things. Right? You won't be satisfied with little stuff. Let's do the big stuff, the moral stuff. Tomorrow we'll take up verses 3 and 4 in chapter 7.